Well, what do you know? It seems they've made a live-action Family Guy movie and called it The Naked Gun, which makes sense because Family Guy, of course, does so many Hollywood spoofs of movies and shows. So this very much could be an episode, to be honest with you, of Family Guy. Now, if you enjoy Family Guy, as I do, although I have to say they've gone a little too far into the spoofs lately, so I've kind of fallen off watching the episodes, but for a while there, I was really into Family Guy. Maybe that's part of the problem this movie's having. Are you still into Family Guy? Maybe Family Guy missed its window a little bit. But anyway, if you are at all familiar with Family Guy, you will watch this movie and go, I recognize the comedic formula, including a ton of non sequiturs. And I always enjoy the non sequitur gags in Family Guy. And this movie has a couple of them, including an extended sequence that, I don't want to ruin it, but I'll tell you it takes place at a ski lodge that is not only absolutely hilarious, but they've managed to keep it I haven't seen it in any of the promotional material. So it was just full of surprises. It was so funny. It had my audience roaring with laughter, myself included. And it's just so Family Guy. It could have been Peter and Lois in this bit, and it was just hilarious. Now, Liam Neeson has a history with Family Guy. He's been on the show, I think, twice. And he was also in both of Seth MacFarlane, the creator of Family Guy and who does most of the voices. He was in a lot of his live action movies. He had another cameo in Ted, and he was the villain in A Million Ways to Die in the West. And Seth MacFarlane is a producer here. This is his movie. And it's a kick to see Fuzzy Door's logo. That's Seth MacFarlane's production company. And, of course, we see that logo at the end of every Family Guy episode. It's a real hoot to see it at the start of this movie. Now, part of you is like, you did good, Seth MacFarlane, but he's been in the movie space before, quite successfully, with 2 Ted movies and a streaming show at this point. The first Ted did particularly well. Now, I'm not so sure why The Naked Gun doesn't seem to be connecting with today's audiences. The trailers have looked phenomenal. And when the first trailer dropped out of CinemaCon back in April, the internet went crazy over it. But for some reason, now people aren't interested. I'm really surprised. I think that Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson are perfect updates to the original stars, Leslie Nielsen and Priscilla Presley. Leslie Nielsen unfortunately passed away, but Priscilla Presley does have a quick cameo here. And the movie, in my opinion, is very funny. If you think Family Guy is funny, you will think this is funny. If you ever thought Family Guy was funny, you will enjoy this. I'll share my theories as to why I think the movie might not be connecting with audiences in theaters in just a moment, but I want you to take this moment to share your own thoughts down below as to why you don't think it's connecting. And one of the ways you can do that, if you're not going to see it, is share why you're not going to go see this movie in theaters. I am very curious to hear your thoughts and your reasons for not going if you're not going. Maybe I can change your mind. But here's my thoughts on it from a business perspective. The movie looked good to me. I would have gone to see it even if I wasn't reviewing it. All right, so Three Stooges humor, aka stupid humor. Has it finally gone out of style? That would be insane, considering the fact it's been popular since the very first days of Hollywood. In fact, I'm sure it's been popular as long as mankind has existed. I'm sure cavemen did stupid things and other cavemen laughed. Also, side note, I also think that this movie has a big problem with a lack of diversity. O.J. Simpson had a supporting role in all of the original movies, and obviously things have changed quite a bit since then. And the movie took that on and made a joke about it that was in that first trailer that did so well. And I think that joke in the first trailer was what got a lot of attention for the movie. So and the joke is in the film itself, but this actor is not a character in the film. He's only there for the purposes of this joke. And I think it was a mistake not to build out the next generation of this character to bring more diversity to the film. Busta Rhymes has a very funny scene, and CCH Pounder is very good as the chief. But I think that it was a mistake not to give this actor a full part in the film. Back to stupid humor. I'm sure a lot of people still enjoy and laugh at stupid humor. I don't think it'll ever go away. Family Guy Still a popular show? I'm not sure. It's still on the air. You know, Fox isn't running a charity over there, so they're making money off of it. But Family Guy is something you watch at home. So maybe people don't feel they need to go to the theater to see Naked Gun. I wonder if you've all written down below you plan to stream it on digital or a streaming service down the line. And while Neeson and Anderson are very well cast and are so good in the movie, maybe the movie needs some younger characters and therefore actors to bring in a younger audience. And we'll see what the demos look like on Sunday's Movie Math. If people don't go, though, it's too bad because I had a really fun time laughing in a packed theater, which we don't get to do too often these days as the big screen comedy isn't in style at the moment. Although they are making Meet the Parents 4. And who are they adding? Ariana Grande to bring in the younger audience. Thank you very much. Seth MacFarlane made a mistake there. All right, so, it helped, though, my enjoyment of The Naked Gun is that I went to see it opening night. And not only did I get this cool poster, but Liam Neeson introduced 2 showings at AMC Lincoln Square in person, and he was hilarious. I posted the video on my Twitter account. He was great. And as he left the theater, he jokingly snarled at us, "You better laugh," in his growl. And we were there to laugh. We were there to have a good time. And I think that definitely helps. I hope that everyone who goes to see The Naked Gun in theaters or at any point doesn't challenge the movie to entertain them. I hope they click on it or buy a ticket saying, I want to have a good time. I want to laugh, because I think that adds to the experience. As the movie started, to be honest with you, I only was chuckling, and often chuckling to myself. I more thought, oh, that was funny, than actually laughed at it. But in my defense, the movie started out with the sequence from the trailers, which is, again, that trailer was so hot. But, I think it's not great when your movie starts with a scene that people have already seen. And then also I did a couple, oh shit, when they were taking a lot of shots at Elon Musk, as Danny Huston is clearly meant to be a parody of the Tesla Titan. But then, as the movie continued and we started to get to material I had not seen in the trailers, I started to laugh a lot. I was also blown away by not just Liam Neeson's commitment to the material, but Pamela Anderson's. They took these roles so seriously, you'd think they were performing Shakespeare. But I'm glad they did, because they did a lot to help sell the jokes, not just their line delivery, but their incredible physical humor. I said it helps this movie if you want to be there, if you want to see it. And I think that Neeson and Anderson give this stupid comedy dignity. They're not ashamed to be in it. They want to be in it. They're excited to be in it. And therefore, they make you feel a little bit better about watching such a stupid movie. So I think I think their commitment to the roles is just, I think it's something you rarely see. And I was really, really impressed. Now, we already know that Liam Neeson can be very funny with a joke, but I wasn't aware that he was so good at physical comedy. He's great here. There's one moment, I don't want to give anything away, so I'll just say there was one moment where he sneaks into a security office at a club. And let's just say he falls down, and you only see him from the head and shoulders at first. The gag that he did, the way he sold it, it was simultaneously hilarious and impressive. I was like, oh my God, that was so funny. And that's the joke. That's the first joke in the movie where I genuinely really laughed out loud. And that's where the film got me. After that, we were off to the races. It had me in its clutches, and I was having a great time. So I'll be curious, for those of you who do see the movie, or when you do see it, and mark your comment as spoilers, I'd love to know what joke in the movie was the one that won you over and pulled you in and got you on board. For me, that was it. And Anderson is right there with him. She's able to keep up with Liam Neeson, no problem. After this and The Last Showgirl, I dare say that maybe Pamela Anderson can act. I'm as amazed as you. Well, at least in the right role. And she's very smart. She and her team is that they seem to know what the right role is for her. It's crazy. This is the same person who got laughed off the screen, literally, from Barbed Wire. Although I see Barbed Wire defenders out there, and to be fair, I've never seen the film. Maybe she's actually good in it. It's a shame she was so against the Pam and Tommy miniseries, but I understand that she was upset not to be at all consulted for that miniseries. But as I said at the time, because I gave it a good review, and I said, I hope that she will watch this because I think the script and Lily James's performance did a lot to humanize Anderson. And I think for the first time in popular culture, make her seem like a real person instead of like this product or plaything that she had herself marketed herself as, or had the most success marketing herself as. I mean, it really made me a lot more interested in Pamela Anderson, that series. And I think they made her an extremely sympathetic figure, pointing out that she was a trailblazer, not just in a positive way, especially when you think about, you know, the way culture has opened up today. You know, some of the things that Pamela Anderson did would not be as considered as risque as they are now. But then also, unfortunately, she was, I think, arguably, and this is the case that the miniseries made, the first victim, or certainly the most famous first victim of the online hate and misogyny that is still online to this day. So it's just really unfortunate that she was so upset about it, and it kept a lot of people from seeing the miniseries, I think, including Anderson. But the miniseries was so much on her side. But that's the fault of the producers, because it's the producers' fault on Pam and Tommy for not consulting Anderson when adapting such a traumatic incident for her. I do agree that it was, you know, taking advantage of her and profiting off of her pain because they didn't bother to consult her. And, you know, and to cut her in, I mean, they were profiting off of her, and that's really horrible. So that's on them. But it's a very good miniseries. And she's great here. She's so good. I hope she gets more work off of this and The Last Showgirl. Now let's talk real life romance. Yes, it would seem that Neeson and Anderson are indeed dating in real life. Now, is this just a PR gimmick like Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney did just a little while ago with great success? I don't know if this is going to help Neeson and Anderson's movie, but I think it's helping them personally. What do you think? And maybe they're really in love, like Marilyn and Martin, another very sweet and adorable couple. But gosh darn it, real or not, if I'm not buying into this fairy tale, I love it. They have amazing chemistry together. And I saw someone online comment that Neeson has very strong male, masculine energy, while Anderson has very strong feminine energy, which makes them this really explosive couple when they come together. And I think there's something to that. Why do you think that they're so likable together? Now, there have been some comments about Neeson's manhood that I've been seeing, some headlines. Even the movie, by the way, makes a joke about it. Because I was wondering if it bothered him that people were discussing it. But they made a joke about it in the movie. Neeson was recently on Colbert, and he made it pretty clear that he's fine with anything as long as he gets paid. And then also, Anderson still has that it factor from her Playboy days. She's definitely still a real-life Jessica Rabbit. So real or not, it's impossible not to root for them as a couple on and off screen. They just have such great chemistry, and they're clearly having so much fun together. And on that note, stick around for the end credits because they have a gag they do there that's also great. If I were a streaming executive, I would see if they were open to doing a reality series that followed them around. I think they're that good together. The film is really a two-hander. Well, maybe more of a threesome. There's actually more than one threesome in this movie, and they're both very, very funny. But anyway, there's Neeson, Anderson, and Danny Huston as the villain. And he takes the material, the comedy, just as seriously and is having just as much fun. He's also fantastic. Really, if you enjoy Family Guy, you will like this movie. Maybe not in theaters. Maybe you'll stream it just like you do Family Guy. Because it seems that most of you will not be seeing this in theaters. And again, I want to know why. But I don't think that means The Naked Gun isn't necessarily going to be a success. It might just be a success down the line. Because I can see this doing extremely well on digital and streaming. And also the ancillary market. I think on airplanes and in hotel rooms, The Naked Gun could do extremely well. And I hope so, because I, for one, would really like a sequel. And also, the movie doesn't overstay its welcome. It's just a sweet, sweet, sweet hour and 25 minutes. It was nuts. I had to sit through half an hour of commercials, and I was timing it because I was worried Liam Neeson, he was promised to show up, and I was worried he wasn't going to be there. I was like, when's he coming out? And I looked down at my clock my phone, because I was getting ready to record him. For a 7:15 showing, it was 7:40. And I'm like, what's going on here? I mean, I know that AMC now tells you up front that there's going to be 20 to 30 minutes of pre-roll, but it's just nuts. It's crazy. All right. So anyway, That's my review of Naked Gun, now playing in theaters and down the line on digital and streaming, and on an airplane and a hotel room that you very much probably will find yourself in. I'm telling you, at some point you should click on this movie, and I hope you do with enthusiasm, because again, if you're gonna, don't go into this movie if you're gonna have a bad attitude about it. But if you want to have a good time, if you're like, oh, this will be fun, you will have fun. And that's a good lesson for life as well. All right, share your own thoughts down below, subscribe today, and of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.